people are calling me about my business. My business is productive. You got to understand that I am fruitful. I am a successful individual. I may not have not one customer, but I'm saying my business has taken off. Why? Because if I'm going to be free, I got to war with the atmosphere. If he say you're fighting against flesh and blood, well, who is it against? That's right. It's against words that's been spoken about you. It's against thoughts that's been thought about you. And that's why he said, I'm giving you the choice. Listen what he said. He said, I'm giving you the choice. He said right here in verse 14, he said, I'm commanding. He said, the word is in your mouth, it's in your heart, and you may observe it. He said, verse 15, he said, but if you obey, say if. That means you got to do something. That means if you don't do this, you won't be free. I'm going to say that again. Whenever you see the word if, that means if you don't do it, you won't get the result. And this is why we've been seeing people that don't see the blessing of the Lord. Listen what he said. He said, if you obey the voice of the Lord. Where's the voice of the Lord? In the Bible. The voice of the Lord is what the preacher and the teacher may preach. He said, if you obey. So in other words, these are some preconditions. If you obey the voice of the Lord, your God, to keep. You got to keep his commandment. What's his commandments? In the word. And his statutes, which are written in the book of the law. What's the book of the law? The Bible. He said, if you turn to the Lord your God with all your mind and your heart and with all your being. So in other words, if I'm like this, I haven't turned completely. He said, I got to turn my mind. I got to turn my heart. I got to turn my soul. Because if he's going to give me these things, he wants a complete turn. Yeah, that's it. Now y'all see why we see the warfare we see. Because we ain't made no complete turn. We've been like this. And he's saying you either going to be like this or you're going to be like this. But you ain't fun to be like this. There ain't no in between. He said, I want a complete turn. Where it's showing that you want me. He said, verse 16, he said, if you obey the commands of the Lord your God, which I command you today, to love your God with all your heart, to walk in his ways, to keep his commandments, his statutes, his ordinance. He said, then you shall live and multiply. And the Lord your God will bless you in the land which you go to possess. But if your mind and your heart turn away, and you will not hear, but are drawn away to worship other gods and serve them, he said, then I declare to you today, you shall surely perish, and you shall not live in the land which you pass over to the Jordan to possess. He said, I call heaven and earth to witness this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Therefore, choose life, that you and your descendants may live, and you may love the Lord your God. Obey his voice and cling to him, for he is your life, the length of your days, that you may dwell in the land which the Lord your God swore to you. He said, see, what you doing, see, that's why I said ain't nobody got to tell on you. Because see, he said, I call heaven and I call earth to listen and watch what you do. My Lord. That's why say automatic curses. See, it's one thing when you go to Walmart, don't know automatic open. That's why when we do what we do, automatic curses shoot off. Because the earth and the heaven, it has witnessed what we know. My Lord. It's gonna witness. Nobody ain't got to point no finger. Nobody ain't got to say nothing, because God said, I have called the atmosphere to recognize what you are doing. That's why you see people in bondage in church, because they don't understand they in an automatic bondage. And they thinking they free. And people that's really free, they hate those people. Why? Because they see the people operating in a place they don't operate in. Because I don't care where you're supposed to go. If I go to Africa, another believer should be able to recognize who I am.
That's right.
I don't care if you may talk to a person that talks Spanish and they go to another person who they don't know and they talk Spanish, the same language they understand. How come we go to this church and we say we believers but we don't talk the same language?
Wow. Jesus.
How come this church talks some stuff that this church ain't even never heard of? You know why? Because they have built different kingdoms and people don't recognize it.